Hi, I'm Rich Hill. I'm the CEO and founder of Mind Doodle. I want to talk a little bit today about GDPR. I'll keep this as short as possible because if you're anything like me, you're a little bit fed up with it. Anyway, here we go. So, first of all, ironic, right? It's intended to stop spam, and yet lots of companies have been sending you emails, and you're not even sure how they know you or what they do. They've got your email address from some sort of list or from a conference you've attended, and inadvertently you gave them your email address. Anyway, that's the way it is. So sorry if you're fed up with this. You don't have to watch this video. It's just there in case you do want to watch it. So, a few things to note about GDPR. First of all, it's not actually totally new legislation. So, there's something that already exists called PECA, which is Privacy in Electronic Communications Regulations. So, most of the legislation just actually enforces this and makes it punishable by fines. It's also worth noting that despite the fact that you've probably received a myriad emails during the last few weeks, only about 9% of companies in the UK have actually responded or done something about GDPR yet. So the worst isn't over. I'm really sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Don't shoot the messenger. The main idea behind GDPR is personal data. It gives you loads of new rights, or rather enforces rights. I mean, they're not new, they've been there for a while. It's things like you've got the right to see your own data. There should only be data stored about you that's relevant or required. You need to provide consent, that type of stuff. You can always contact anyone who's got data about you, ask them to remove it or edit it or make corrections or stop the way which is being used. If you look at our privacy policy, there's a load of useful links in there that go to the Information Commission organisers, officers website, and you can see all your various rights yourself. I think it's just ico.org.uk, but check the privacy policy for the exact links. So in terms of personal data, we store almost nothing. Really, it's just the bare essentials to make the system function. So the email address is your username. We could have that separately, but then we always need to email you things, so it makes sense to just ask for it once. Password, again, if you haven't got a password, it's very hard to log in. And there's a few other little things in there that are optional. You don't have to fill them in. If you want to, it's up to you. I mean, an example is a mobile phone number. Currently, we don't use a mobile phone number, but we envisage in the future we might want to send text messages, and if we do, it'll be useful to have a phone number, so we put it in there now. But I say most people left it blank. We don't actually use it to phone people up. It's just something we might want to use in the future. So in terms of emails we do send, they broadly fit into two categories. System emails. These are typically things like registration, if you invite someone else to join your team, or you've forgotten your password and you want to reset it. So these are things that are required for a system that's cloud-based, like Mind Doodle to function, and those will always be there while you're an existing Mind Doodle user. We then have our newsletter, and for that we use MailChimp. So we send out typically a new newsletter every 2 weeks. It includes things like new features that you might want to know about, how-to videos to explain how to use the features, highlighting blog posts. I mean, the blog is something that happens all the time, but we'll highlight interesting blog posts that have proved popular. And then events. So that might be a meetup, or might be a big event. For example, last week we were at the Digital Festival in Cardiff, which was 2,000 people and lasted 2 days and was very popular. It's also worthwhile mentioning cookies. Again, cookies have bad press, and that's because they have been misused by certain companies or websites in the past, but they're also really useful. And we don't do the bad things, like we don't do it to try and sell you dodgy items or anything like that, or to sell your information to third parties. We really only use it for 2 reasons. One is session data, and that means that when you first log in, you obviously provide your email address and your password, i.e. your credentials. We don't want to keep passing that information back and forth every time you go to a new page. So we have a session information, and that session basically just says that you're a valid user and make sure that you get access to the correct data, i.e. your team, your doodles. And we also use Google Analytics for user tracking. This is anonymized data, so we don't know about a particular person, so like Bob or Sue logging in from a certain place at a certain time. That we don't know, but we do get information about the various logins and the page flow. So A user goes to this page, and they go to that page, then they go to this page, and that allows us to view any problems. So if a lot of users get stuck at a certain page, we know that there's something we need to fix. It might be a genuine bug, or it might just be a workflow that can be improved and made easier for people to understand. Anyway, that's it in a nutshell. Sorry to go on about GDPR because everyone is. In the meantime, I hope you like using Mind Doodle. If you have any questions, please just email. We have an email address which is privacy.officer@flexidb.com because the parent company for Mind Doodle is FlexiDB. So please contact us. Thank you very much.